We just had an update on the Council's financial position, the in-year budget monitoring for the second quarter. The first quarter of budget monitoring had showed an overspend that was around £8 million. That's not unusual at this time of year, but given all the media hype at the moment, all coverage of other councils that are in financial trouble, it's something we pay very close attention to. Q2 has shown that we have significantly reduced that. It's now reduced to just over £800,000. I'm completely confident that by the end of the year, it will be at the very least balanced and hopefully back to a small surplus. We've delivered surpluses for the last 3 years. Our aim is to continue to do so. This is in stark contrast to most of the councils around us, where you will see warnings of significant use of reserves and of overspends that councils aren't able to deal with. I want to reassure you all, Wiltshire Council is on top of our financial position. We've got a grip of it, and we're making sure that we control our finances, because sound finances are the key to everything else that we deliver for you. We're now putting the local transport plan out for consultation, LTP4. This is a document that provides the strategic skeleton on which all of our future transport developments inside Wiltshire over the next few years will be built. It doesn't give prescriptive statements about we must build this road here or put this bus service on there, but it gives the broad strategic policy context. And it's really important from a Wiltshire perspective that we acknowledge the fact that for the vast bulk of our residents, we need cars to be able to get around. We can't live our lives without them. Our economy is dependent on them, and our ability to actually live our lives is dependent on them. We need to decarbonise them, we need to facilitate electric vehicles, and as part of the plan, we need to make sure that we're putting in support for buses, for public transport, and for walking and cycling where it's appropriate. But we've got to be realistic about the fact that our daily commute in Wiltshire to get to work is very unlikely to be walking or by bicycle, unless you are one of the few people who lives inside the, what is it, average of 4 miles that people are willing to cycle to and from work, and our average commute is over 7 miles. So that context is really important. The document's broken down into a number of areas. It's got specific papers looking at our 3 big settlements, Salisbury, Trowbridge and Chippenham, then our smaller market towns, and then our rural areas. And again, there are different nuances for each of those areas, and then there are topics about parking and so on. So if you're interested in this, if you're interested in shaping this document, I would urge you to have a look at the consultation when it goes live. That will be at some point next week, I think 28th of November. So have a look at it, and please get your feedback in. This is a document that needs to be shaped by you as well as by council officers and the work that's been done so far to understand that sort of bigger strategic picture. It's a real consultation. We've already had some comments back that I think are really valid and are likely to be included. We'd love to hear yours. We've had a very interesting discussion about the future requirements of our waste service of recycling in Wiltshire. The Environment Act that was passed by the last government is going to significantly change the way that recycling and waste collection works across the UK. So we're all going to have to have food waste collected on a weekly basis from 2027 in our case. That's to do with disposal contracts, very complex. I won't explain it all, but if you have a look at the cabinet papers, you can understand the details. And then we will also, and I'm really pleased about this, have soft plastics being collected again from 27 along with our recycling collections. But as part of this, we've looked at how we boost recycling rates. The Act requires us, as it stands, to get to 65% recycling by 2035, possibly 2030. Some of that detail needs to be fleshed out. And as part of that, we are going to be looking to introduce a second recycling, a second wheeled recycling bin, so to split out plastic and cans from cardboard and paper. That makes it much easier to sort at the processing facility. This is something that won't happen for at least 2 years. We still need to go through all sorts of contract negotiations, so just to give you a steer on the direction of travel, but you won't see any of this actually changing for quite some time. To throw a bit of a curveball in, as part of the Environment Act, the government is looking at deposit-based recycling systems for glass and cans, and that could significantly change the way the collections happen as part of this process as well. So we're setting up contracts that can deal with all of that potential change moving forward.